Today we're getting back into Lightroom to edit some more portraits. Welcome back. My name is Samuel from Human Photographs, and if you're new here, on this channel I create photography content, and this is a series where every day I edit a single portrait, showing you how my Moody preset works. And yes, in case you didn't know, I did release a new Moody preset. It works wonderfully. It's one of my favorite presets to use, and I'm not just saying that because I made it, but a lot of people have used it and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from it. I've worked really hard on this preset, and if you want to transform your photos and bring them up to this next level, well, you can do exactly that using my preset, which you can find using the first link in the description below. All right, that's enough yapping from me. Let's get to editing. Okay, so here I am in Lightroom, okay, and the first thing I like to do before I even apply the preset is to see if I want to reframe the photo a little bit. Now let me check the framing here. Okay, so as I usually say, I like to have the third line be on the eyes. So now it's a little bit off, so I'm just gonna drag this down a bit, just like that. And now this looks good to me. You know what, I might even close it off here a little bit. Yes, something like this. Okay, now I've cropped the image, I've reframed it a bit. I'm ready to apply the Moody preset. So I'm gonna go right here and apply the preset. And boom, now it gives us this that we can work with. So as you can see, if you do a quick before and after, the photo is a lot more moody. Some colors like the greens, the yellows are a little bit less poppy, and other colors like the orange tones, the red tones, even some of the purple tones are popping a little bit more. Now, we're not done, right? Even though we apply the preset, there still is some tweaking to be done, and that's completely normal, right? Never just use a preset and call it a day, right? Always go in and make sure that it fits with your photo. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna raise the shadows a bit to bring back some detail in the photo. Then what I'm gonna do is some spots are a little bit too white and too bright. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna decrease the highlights and I'm gonna decrease the whites. And as you can see, it took care of this spot, for example, on her arm that was a lot overexposed. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm the photo a little bit. Now, I did have my white balance, messed up on the day, so that is why I have to manually do it. But ideally, you wanna have your white balance set correctly on the day of the shoot. Okay, so now I've prepped the photo. It's ready for the masks. Let's get into it. So in case you're not really familiar with the way I do it, basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna darken the background. I'm gonna brighten the eyes. Her teeth aren't showing, but if she was showing her teeth, I'd make sure that, they're nice and white. Then I'm gonna smoothen her skin, brighten it up a little bit, and then darken everything around that. So let's get started. First things first, the background. Okay, so I have the background selected. Now, it's also selected this part down here. I don't want it to select that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to subtract, and then I'm gonna use the brush. And basically I'm gonna color here and go like this, and it's gonna subtract that from the selection because I don't want to select that. I only want the background to be affected. Boom, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to darken the background and watch what happens as I make the background darker. As you can see, it's making the subject pop a lot more. And I'm even gonna desaturate it a little bit. So if you do a before and after, you can see that since the background is, less bright, the subject is popping a lot more. But we're gonna take that even further. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a radial gradient. I'm gonna put it on the face, right? And I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit, just like this. You know what? I might even go back to the basic settings and lower the exposure like this, perfect, so that I can raise it a lot more in the masks, just like that. Might feather this out even more. Perfect. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate and invert the mask, and I'm gonna do the exact opposite. I'm basically going to darken everything this time, like this. I might even lower the blacks. Boom, perfect. Now, if you do it before and after, you can see her face is the brightest part of the portrait, so it makes her stand out a lot. So now let's take care of the eyes and the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on select people, and then what I'm gonna do is select facial skin, body skin, eye, sclera, iris, and pupil. Perfect. Then I'm gonna separate them into their own masks. So I want the eyes to be on their own group and the body skin to also be in its own group. So let's start with the body skin, and I'm actually going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So all I'm gonna do to smoothen out the skin is go down here to where it says texture, and I'm gonna drag this down and watch what happens. As you can see, the face is a lot more smooth. And that's really all I'm gonna do for the skin. I'm not gonna mess with the, the temperature. I'm not gonna mess with the colors. I'm just gonna make it smooth. Then I'm gonna jump to the eyes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise the whites a bit. I'm gonna raise the shadows like so. And I'm gonna go down to the texture and I'm gonna raise the texture up and watch what happens. This makes her eyes tack sharp. Now her eyes were already sharp to begin with because I had the focus set on her eyes, but this is just taking it to the next level. If you saw before and after. Now, as it is for all of those masks, you can use the slider here to control the intensity of the mask, right? If it's too intense, you can lower it, but if it's not intense enough, you can always raise it. I'm gonna leave it at around 120 because I really want her eyes to pop. Now let's do a quick before and after. Before the masks and after the masks. Now let's do a global before and after to really see what we have done. Okay, so now we have a before and after of what we have done. And as you can see, for example, here we've brought back a lot of detail in the background. It's not as blown out as it was over here. Here, part of his skin was blown out, but we were also able to bring this detail back. And that is the advantage of shooting in RAW, guys. You always want to shoot in RAW and never shoot in JPEG if you have the intention of, doing some editing to the photo later. Now, let's look at her eyes. As you can see, her eyes are much sharper. They are a little brighter. They're really popping and we can really, see her emotions. And we've smoothened out her skin, but it's not too intense. So, it doesn't jump to the eyes, right? It doesn't look weird. It looks quite natural, honestly. Now, keep in mind, the Moody preset did most of the work for us. As you've seen in this video and the other videos where I've covered this preset, all we really did was apply the mask to sharpen the eyes, smoothen the skin, maybe raise the shadows a little bit. But all of the work here, all of this was done by the Moody preset. Now, if you want to follow along with me, I will leave this photo for you down in the description below so you can follow along with me in this tutorial. You will still need the Moody preset, but you can get that with the first link below. I'm really enjoying, using this preset and showing it off to you guys because I've worked really hard on it and it really is my favorite one to use. Again, if you want to use it for yourself, first link in the description below, you can get it there. And this photo will also be down for free. You can have it to practice on it with the preset. Now, if you want to see me use this preset a bit more and how it works on other types of portraits, then you can watch this video here where I did exactly that. You can also click here to subscribe. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're really close. I really think we can do it. So if you subscribe to my channel, that is 1 subscriber closer to my goal. So I thank you very much. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep creating, stay creative. God bless you. Please subscribe, check out the preset, and I'll see you in the next one.